Obviously, no match day vlog today. Wigan got cancelled for international break. So I'm just going to go with something different. I'm just going to discuss the latest managerial appointment at Charlton Athletic, which is, of course, Michael Appleton. We'll get into it. Hope you enjoy, guys. About the managerial appointment, I'm just going to be straight up. I'm going to keep this short and sweet because it's roasting, mate. I've got a barbecue to go to, and to be frank and maybe come across quite rude here, I don't really fancy doing like a proper breakdown vlog on this managerial appointment because, as this video is going to show, I'm not too happy about it. I don't think it's going to work, to be honest with you. So I'm not going to sit here and start looking at formations Michael Appleton plays because, being frank, with the sort of personnel we've got, in my opinion, don't really matter what formation you're going to play. I'm not too sure the boys are going to be up to it. Obviously, again, there's a handful of good players, but at the same time, the main issue is where it's at the back of the pitch. Don't think there's much we can do about that, unfortunately. I think we need another transfer window. Just looking at a few managers I've highlighted in particular that I think are quite similar to the appointment of Michael Appleton. And the ones that have stood out to me, and obviously I'm talking about League One Charlton here, yeah? And the ones that stood out to me is, of course, Russell Slade, Ben Garner, and Nigel Adkins. Those are the three names I sort of took from our list of managers in League One. I thought, right, they're the ones that match up to Michael Appleton comparatively. Right, so having a ganders at this list quickly, and I will look down, there won't much eye camera contact. I'm going to have to look at this list, I cannot remember it for the life of me. So I'm looking at Russell Slade first. 37% win rate at Cardiff when he was in the Championship, 32 wins, 27 draws, 27 losses. His overall had a 36% win rate, Slade of course. His achievements were playoff semi with Grimsby, playoff final with Yeovil, playoff final with Leyton Orient. He lost all these, by the way, so he had a bit of a mare at Wembley twice. Mid-table finish with Cardiff, and he finished just outside the playoffs of Cardiff. So on paper, on the back of it, when we signed Russell Slade, all things pointed towards this manager's up to it. So moving on to Ben Garner, he had a 50% win rate at Swindon. Oh, that's obviously his highlight. His overall was a 36% win rate as a manager, and his overall achievement, which is probably getting Swindon to the semi. Finally is obviously Nigel Adkins, 42% win rate as a manager. The standout to me was obviously 40% at Sheffield United, in League One, that is. Then again, at Southampton, he also got promoted, so that's pretty standout, I guess. I was more thinking of Southampton as a Championship side, but yeah, of course, Nigel Adkins done very well at Southampton. And his obviously notable achievements I wrote down as back-to-back promos at Southampton from obviously League One through Championship straight to the Prem, and he obviously got Scunthorpe promoted as well. So with those ones said, I'm just going to mention obviously Appleton's as a side-by-side comparison. So Appleton had a 45% win rate at Oxford's. It was mostly League Two and had a great squad in League Two by all accounts. 38% at Lincoln and an abysmal 24% at Blackpool. Overall 37%, and his notable achievements I've wrote down are promoted from Oxford in League Two, and he got Lincoln to a League One playoff final, obviously. So I'm not going to sit there and talk about formations. I'm just looking at stats and win rates because I think that might highlight a bit more than formations, in my opinion. And all I can tell from looking at that is that it's just another unambitious managerial appointment. I mean, there's no difference between his win rates. There's not much difference between his achievements. You could argue that Nigel Adkins and Russell Slade both come in with more accolades than Michael Appleton. You can argue Ben Garner was coming off the back of more of a catapulted season in the sense that Swindon looked like an actual good side, and I remember the chart popping up during their playoff game. He was first in a lot of aspects, like passes, possession, passes forwards, like a lot of positive signs. And if you're going to go by the basis they're all as good as their last job, Nigel Adkins, by Hull City's fans' accounts, was actually a pretty decent manager. He kept them competitive in the Championship, nowhere near relegation. I believe he stepped down because he didn't get sort of the rights to the transfer market. Ben Garner obviously came off the back of a pretty promising season at Swindon, and we managed to poach him. And of course, Russell Slade done pretty well at Cardiff. So I look at what he's managed and I think, right, we got them on the back end of something good. Michael Appleton's on his way down, and he had a torrid time at Blackpool. A 24% win rate is pretty shocking, no matter what way you dress it up. So with all that said, I just don't really fancy him as a manager. I think it was quite telling that he got a 2-year contract. Typically speaking, if you get a top manager, you don't stick him on a 2-year contract because obviously there's the worry that if we get promoted, he gets poached. There's the worry there's no long-term project. It just screams to me that they're not sure about him, giving him a 2 years. And I'm going to be blunt, I highly doubt Michael Appleton's sit there and gone on 1 or 2 year contract. I don't see it, so I think that's more on our end than his end. And yeah, I just think it screams of, we're not going anywhere, let's just try and get a man in, steady the ship, and hopefully get him in the playoffs. I think we've got some chances here. I don't know, because who's the main man here? Who's speaking? We've obviously got Charlie Pink Trousers over here. He's our spokesman, obviously, when he weren't meant to be. We've got Andy Scott, who's quite vocal and seems to be deciding who plays, who comes in, who comes out. He may as well be the manager, if I'm honest. Like, I understand the system we've tried to adopt. It's similar to what other clubs are doing. We're trying to keep it so when the players come in, we're sticking to a certain club philosophy, formation, all that crap. And when the manager comes in, he's more of a coach, and he sort of, I guess, guides the players on how to play and that sort of stuff. But I don't think it's going to work for a club like us. It hasn't in the past with these sort of managerial appointments. I think it only tends to work when we get a Charlton man in. And yeah, I don't see it working out too well. And in fact, on that note, just a little quick one. I'm going to just play some little wagers here quickly. Just some little goodwill bets, because I don't want to sit here and be too negative. I'm going to try and get some positives out of this. So, first of all, if Michael Appleton can get us to the playoffs, yeah, I'll give 50 quid to the upbeats. Yeah, that's my first wager. If he gets to the playoffs, 50 quid to the upbeats. If this guy can get us in the championship, I will buy 1 Charlton fan season ticket. If he's a Charlton manager next year, I'll do something else. I'll buy someone a football kit maybe. I'll buy you the next Charlton home shirt if he's still a manager, because I just don't see it. So that you know, that's money where my mouth is. I don't think he's going anywhere. I reckon give it till January, it'll be gone, and that's probably not his fault. I think the blame lays more with the owners as usual. It was really obvious that we lacked the squad to sort of have a real go at this league. Obviously, at the start of my vlog channel, I did say that I fancied us to get playoffs pending more signings, and no signings didn't really happen. How do we expect to lose a handful of players, replace them with, if we're honest, like for like? So, you know, Albie Morgan for Terry Taylor, on paper, not much difference there so far. Sean Clare, we didn't really replace him as a versatile defensive option, because he could obviously play across the back line. So we've not really replaced players who have left, in my opinion, as much. Obviously, Alfie Miller is a fantastic acquisition for a snip transfer, obviously. But realistically, he just replaced Jez, didn't he, from Palace in terms of the goals. So we didn't really replace Jez, of course, with Alfie May, decent enough replacement, but we've not added to it. And if we were short last season, what's going to be different this season? So again, I'm not putting all the blame on Appleton. He might be a good manager, I don't know, but I don't see it working out, and that's all really. So just like as a roundup, I think he's very similar to Nigel Adkins, Ben Garner, and of course Russell Slade in League One. I don't think he inspires many people. I don't think we're going to be celebrating on the streets over him, that's for sure. I think the 2 year was a real red flag that even they're not sure about him, and I think they'll potentially already be thinking about other candidates, in my opinion. There was managers who have managed at a higher level than obviously Appleton, and proven it in more recent history than Appleton, and they were free. And I don't believe in all this stuff about we're a circus, we're hard to manage. It's all baloney. It's bull crap. If you approach their managers and you give them a healthy contract and you say, look, this is what we're aiming for, this is this is that, what, they're not going to come to us? It's bollocks, mate. Like Chris Wilde when he went to Reading. Darren Moore was at Sheffield Wednesday, and obviously Sheffield Wednesday are a big club, I get that, but they were still a League One club when he took over him. So, and he was obviously at Doncaster recently. Like, it's just bullcrap. But I'm telling you, like, if you approach these certain managers with the right paycheck in front of them, they're taking it up all day. So don't see it as, you know, they wouldn't come to us. It's that we weren't willing to pay the going rate. I reckon from the start, Cowley and Appleton were the only two people in the frame, because they were cheap. They were probably desperate to get back into the, you know, managerial, you know, merry-go-round and sort of get the name out there. And they took it, and that's that. With that said, I'm just going to wrap it up there, close it off. If you watched it the whole way, I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed it. If you find my views controversial, you want to challenge them, meet me in the comments. Let's have a discussion. I'm up for it. If you're new to the channel, you enjoyed the video, please you know, like, comment, subscribe, hit the noties on if you want to watch more stuff. Again, the vlogs will keep rolling. Only today, obviously, Wigan was cancelled, so I didn't go, and I didn't fancy going to another game, so I thought I'd enjoy the weather with my family. So yeah, that said, that rounds it up. Let's hope we have a good season off the new managerial appointment. I don't see it. I will stick to those wages. Let's hope I'm wrong and some Charlton fans get some money or a season ticket and we get in the Championship. That's the best outcome. If it doesn't happen, it is what it is. Good luck to Appleton. Obviously, I will say welcome to Charlton, so I'm not a complete dick. But obviously, there's a lot to be done here, and good luck. Good luck to you. That's all I'm going to say. Guys, I will see you at the next one, which will now be Stevenage away, following Saturday. Enjoy your weekends. Enjoy the weather. Take care. Nice one.